I think cardiognosis often is perceived to be connected to the Father's heart, and therefore the knowledge of his heart, which is true. And I think, heart to heart relationship with him will give us a knowledge of his heart, or an unfolding of that truth of his heart. And it's almost like not a cognitive thing where we're getting him telling us things, but we're knowing. It's the knowing. And obviously, if we're going to feel the heart of God, our heart has to expand. We cannot contain the heart of God in something which is the fractured or damaged or broken heart that we might have. So we have to find wholeness, and then our heart needs to expand and increase in its capacity for compassion, for love, because we're growing, we're maturing, and that is a level of love which requires an expansion of our heart to do it. And then we can choose to open our heart towards things, or we can close our heart towards things. And I think to open our heart is to give access to our heart to those things that God is working with or working for, and in which, when we feel his heart, God wants us to respond out of his heart, be motivated with his heart, but to engage our heart with it, not to do it by duty or obligation or feel, oh, God showed me something, I suppose I better do this, but to feel and be motivated by that desire or compassion when we begin to know his heart and discern his heart. And all of that is a cardiognosis type intimacy revelation, but we can open our hearts also towards other things. Many times when I've felt creation, my heart is engaged with creation in a way which expanded my heart. It's like I felt the sadness, the loneliness, the disconnect of creation, and it expanded my heart and my desire for creation's restoration and freedom. So sometimes when we engage with a situation, it can cause us to respond in such a way that our heart expands towards it, and we have a greater dimension of love towards that, and feelings and emotions towards something that before we may have only seen in one way and not felt as strongly. And I think when we operate in sonship and in the desires of sonship, it will enable us to see things differently and to feel things differently and sense things differently. And therefore we won't be oblivious to what's going on, but will engage it. And I can reach out to creation and engage in cardiognosis with creation. I can open my heart to feel what creation is feeling and engage it. I can open my heart to someone else. Quite often when I go to conferences, I'm not doing conferences at the moment, but when I've done them in the past, I choose to open my heart and spirit to people, and I surround that place, wherever it might be, to create a safe environment for people to engage with me, and so that I will feel and sense and be drawn to talk about the things that they require or need or want, because I've opened my heart and I've expanded my heart around a place. And I used to do that with my spirit. And if I engaged my spirit around something, it sort of created a safe place for it. But I needed also to engage my heart in it, because it's not just the safe place, but I want an engagement place. So I have to be willing to feel. Now, I think years ago, there was a lot of call for empathy, and we were to empathize with people and people's pain. And some people would be sort of intercessors, and they'd be wailing and rolling around the floor and things like that. And I don't think that's really what it's talking about. It's not, I'm going to feel someone's pain and I'm going to be emotionally broken. It's, I'm going to relate to where someone is and be motivated to engage that for the good, not just sort of sympathize. And I think some of what I saw in intercession, I just didn't like it. It was, it might be just me, then I'm not sort of mercy gift orientated perhaps, but I just felt all they're doing is wailing, but they're not doing anything. Is that going to do anything? Maybe it did. I don't know. But I didn't feel that that was where I was. And I certainly didn't respond that way very often. But I do feel I can choose to open my heart. I can choose to engage my heart and my emotions to feel and sense and be more connected to a person or a situation or creation itself, which I think in terms of cardiognosis, see, knowledge is not intellectual knowledge. Knowledge is to know by experience. And if you don't open your heart to the experience of something, you're not going to know. You're just going to have information about. Now, information about something is not what knowledge is about. And therefore my testimony is knowledge, true knowledge. And I do believe that God wants us to be involved holistically in situations. And sometimes even your body can react and sense a situation or a particular dynamic, which is sort of the whole of us engaged. And I think I used to engage my spirit more because I felt more comfortable with that. But over time, I think my emotions got more involved and my heart was more involved, and I engaged heart to heart in a way that I didn't do before. And I think that's because I feel I've connected more to the heart of God and deeper to his heart, that inspires me and moves me in a way that it didn't before. And I think that's, sort of growing in the knowledge. If you enjoy these videos, would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It really does help. Thank you very much.